no retreat, no surrender. That's the message of the sender. No BS and no pretender. Staying real with a positive agenda. Yes, push up yourself, elevate top shelf. Keep rising to the top, never fall till you.
Help.
Wow. Welcome.
Why didn't any of you tell us that our mic wasn't on? Bulavinaka, everyone, we will start again. Thank you for tuning in tonight to another VeiTalanoa. This is episode number 16. So number Tinikoano. And today we're excited because we're coming to you live from Viti Levu. So here we are. So we're actually made it here in Fiji. So thank you for joining us tonight. Please comment on the chat where you're listening in from. Show us some love. Tell us what you're doing today and just interact with us as well as we share to you more from Fiji. So Trey, why don't you tell us a little bit about what the show is normally about?
Well, the show usually starts with the microphone on. And usually we're in two different spaces, but today, this is the first time we're in the same room, right?
The first time we're in the same room.
Wow. And we live in the same city, but we had to come to Fiji to be in the same room.
Came to Fiji to be in the same room. So tonight's show is specifically about those of you who are wanting to come over to Fiji, what you need to prepare for, all that paperwork. So we'll be talking more in detail about our experience as well. And guess what? We're sorry to do this to you, but our food just came in. So we are going to be sharing with you some Fijian food via digital.
Yes.
And so we've got some amazing, our food tonight is thank you to the wonderful Amy from Nandina, which is located in Port Ndenarau. It is the only Fijian restaurant, authentic Fijian food. And if you've not been to Nandina in Ndenarau, when you arrive in Fiji, you need to go. It is an incredible place to eat. So we're digging in today. Did you try your food already, Trey?
I did. I had some otter, there's some kai, some dalo, some fish as well. What have you got?
Well, yes, I've got some. Is that what kind of bug is that? Moreton Bay bug and some ika tabu. We've got some baingani tabu, octopus, which is
Yum.
a kai, exactly. What else have we got here, chef? We've got kokonda. Wow. And bula, sefo.
Prawn.
Dollar to you in Sydney. Thank you for tuning in.
Hello, Denarau, he says. Hello.
You know your cousins are wandering around in Denarau too, right? So let us know where you're tuning in from and we're excited about tonight's show because we've got a lot to share with you. A lot of questions has been coming through. So please pose your questions as well about those of you who are intending to come to Fiji. We finally made it through the borders. I actually arrived on the 1st of December, which was the initial flight to Fiji on that day
On
for
Wednesday.
tourists without quarantine. And then, of course, you had all the paperwork to go through. Maybe Trey can go through some of those points first while I eat. I'm going to get some of that.
Sorry, I was just like going to taste something, but once you start, it's hard to stop. Oh my gosh, like you guys would recognize this shell, right? Yum. Kai. I have fond memories of looking for kai, silly kai in Rewa back in the day. Yum.
Yes.
Okay, so as you know, it's not easy to leave the country. Lots of paperwork to do, lots of steps. So the first thing is to get your international vaccine certificate, and it has a QR code on it. And so you download that from your MyGov app, your Medicare app, and Service New South Wales app. So make sure it has the QR code, because if it doesn't have the QR code, they're not going to accept anything else, because the QR code has all your ID and they can verify that you have been vaccinated. That was the first thing. The other thing is getting the PCR test?
PCR test.
72 hours before you fly out of the country. I was confused. I was like, is it 72 hours before I leave Sydney, 72 hours before I land?
Yes.
But I called the High Commission and they said it's 72 hours from when you leave Sydney, so 72 hours before. So I left on a Friday from Sydney, so I got my test on the Wednesday afternoon, and they send that to you within 24 hours. You get your paperwork, and so you use that, and then also you have to do 72 hours quarantine in an
It's not quarantine.
An improved
it's isolation.
Isolation in an approved CFC accommodation.
Yeah. So the other thing about the PCR test, one tip is that you can get it done at the airport. Sydney Airport has a 1 hour turnaround PCR test. It costs you, a few weeks ago, it cost you 150 or 170. Now it costs you $79, I believe. So at the airport, and then they will give you your certificate as well. So you need that certified copy. They'll print it for you and get it for you. So what I did was I turned up at the airport because I already knew that I could do the test at the airport. So the test has to be, as Trey said, 72, not more than 72 hours before you leave, right? So you need to have that test done within the 72-hour time frame, right? From your departure, from your plane departure. So that's why I just went, okay, I'm just going to do it right there. When I arrived in the airport, I arrived early. I arrived 4 hours early. So then I could get my test and then hung around. I actually got in line because there would be a big line. By the time I was still in line, my PCR test had already come through, and I kept my position in line, ran back across the road, got my certificate printed, and then I came back onto the line straight away. That was the copy, and it went on from there. So the next thing that you need when you are about to check in, Trey? You
need to have proof that you've booked into the accommodation. So it has to be an approved accommodation, CFC approved. So this has all been checked by, the Ministry of Health and government, and it's, high vaccination rates, probably at close to 100%. Hey, and in the hotels that we stay in.
Yeah, pretty much 100%.
So you have to book and pay for that and have a recorded, document to show that you've already booked that hotel, and then also the transfer. So there's a link. You can book the transfer online or book it straight with the accommodation. So these are all the pieces of document that you need to show when you check in at Sydney counter.
So we've already mentioned your vaccination, international travel vaccination certificate, which you can download from Medicare or my.gov. The other is your PCR test, which Trey mentioned. You can also get it at the airport. And number 3 now is the hotel accommodation has to be pre-booked. You have to have that information on document. They will check this through. And the 4th thing is your travel as well, your transfers. You have to have pre-booked transfers, certified transfers, picking you up at the airport to take you to wherever the certified hotel that you've got to go to. And then you've got to spend 3 nights at that hotel. So you've got to book in for at least 3 nights. Is there anything you want to add at this point?
Insurance.
So you have to make sure that you have insurance. And there are insurance now available that has COVID cover in it.
Yeah, and a lot of insurance companies will not cover like COVID related situations. So make sure you search for one. There's a couple. So do a good search. Just Google like COVID cover travel insurance, you know, and it's worth paying because, you know, some of it will cover for cancellations. Some of them will help cover you while you have to stay in certain areas due to the pandemic. So check for all of that. And they won't let you leave the country anyway without the insurance.
Right. Because you need to have all that. That's one of the requirements.
Because they want us to be more responsible. Please excuse me. I'm really enjoying my food.
Please excuse us. Nimaikana, Kerakana.
All of the above.
We're having a Fijian feast, everyone. Thank you to Nandina Restaurant. Fijian authentic food at Port Denarau, the only Fijian authentic food there. You must try it out. Everything is freshly made for you that we're eating. Sorry, we'll show you photos later. We'll post it.
I heard a beautiful story about this restaurant. Actually, someone posted it up, but the hospitality that this restaurant showed, they came in on the flight from Queensland, I believe, and the restaurant had closed, but the owner of the restaurant got the chef to come back and cook for this person. And I read it online, and then you told me the story as well.
Yeah. Amy, who owns Nandina, told me that this lady had come in, but Trey also shared to me that this lady posted it up on Facebook. So we put 2 and 2 together. It was the same person, obviously. And, this is another point. If you're taking a late flight in, a lot of the flights are delayed by 2 to 3 hours. This is standard happening, right? So if you're coming in on a late flight, make sure that you pre-book wherever you're staying some food to be delivered to your room or something like that. Like we were staying at the Sofitel, so I actually was able to just get in before the kitchen closed. Trey didn't have such a good experience because by the time she arrived, the kitchen had closed. So we've suggested to the Sofitel for them to have catering available for those flying in late, but make sure wherever you're staying that they can accommodate and have some food for you. Otherwise, the meals on the plane are not very big. And by the time you arrive and everything's closed, your transfer can't take you anywhere else. They have to take you straight to your hotel. So unless if you want to starve, that's tip number.
Who's counting?
Any questions? Tell us. Joseph
Hola,
Tula.
how are you? Thank you for watching. And the thing with the food, like I said, can I order some takeaway? Killer, thinking Uber Eats. There was no Uber Eats. And plus there's a curfew, right? The curfew is from midnight.
Yeah.
So the staff all finish early and try and get home, The curfew is from midnight to 4 a.m. So nothing happens around that time. Guys,
this is Kai Wakalolo.
Yum. Looks so tasty. After I finish this, I'll come and help you with yours.
Wow. Come on, ask us some questions about, about the travel, because a lot of people have been asking, and we had to do a lot of homework to try and make sure that we had everything ready. So ask away.
And like oh my gosh, Fiji Airways, the service was so good, and a lot of new staff, but they were so welcoming onto the plane. And the food, even though it was small portions, it was very tasty. I had the curry, so nice, the curry chicken. with rice.
Oh my God, that's the best curry chicken right on the plane.
I
Fiji
know.
style.
I was so surprised.
All
but
it
yeah.
needed was the roti.
Oh yeah, very tasty. And then of course, they're very good with the refreshments. You can keep it flowing. And then I asked them for snacks. I said, "Do you have any cheese and crackers?" "We have sayo." "Ah, sayo. Okay, bring." So I'm eating sayo with the drink. But yeah, they were very accommodating, and the plane was so spacious.
The new planes are beautiful.
I was in the economy seat, but you could stretch your legs, and you had your touch screen with all your documentaries and your films. It was so comfortable.
A shout out to Fiona. Fiona Tovehi. Fiona Tovehi. Sorry, Fiona. I couldn't remember your surname, but Fiona and her lovely husband. But Fiona is one of the customer care managers for Fiji Airways, and she looks after us from Sydney. Fiji Airways, with all the things that were happening, they really did an extraordinary job in making sure that they just make everybody as comfortable as possible. Please be patient with them because it's not their fault. A lot of things are beyond their control, and they really, try to help. On the first day, Trey, they had the whole team was on the ground.
In Sydney.
Yeah, including the Australian director, John. John Nickel was there and his whole team, and they just made sure that they checked everything for us, made sure that everything was well, and really took good care of us. So, be patient with all that as you're coming through. There's still a lot of changes, and of course, we were on the first day flight, so there was a lot of things that they had to iron out. And Fiji Airways did a great job in managing all that.
Good tip. Patience. It's all new territory for everyone. So be patient, and there's good. Go early when you check in. Go to everything early. Allow enough time for paperwork.
And now,
Otter.
So
I'm having stuff.
I'm having baingani tavu,
Yum.
which is eggplant, if you don't know, in fresh coconut milk. Like, they don't do tin, right? So you are going to get fresh everything. So we're plugging it because we're eating it right here, right now. And we thank them for delivering. It's only because Amy is such a wonderful Matangali. Amy is a wonderful friend of mine. So she had arranged for the food to be delivered to us. Because we're gonna do the show, and we wanted to have the dinner here while we were doing the show. But the first day, Trey,
What day was that? Friday?
Wednesday, when we got off the flight from the plane, you'll see footage of it later, right? If you haven't already seen it, was lined men with warriors with clubs. Did they have that for yours? So they lined, there was about 20 of them from when you got off the plane. And then at the end of that was a serenade group of about a dozen of them, beautifully singing on the side there, still on the inside. And hello, Bernadette. Love to you from Fiji. We're here.
We're waiting for you.
Waiting for you, Bernie. We're eating while we're doing this show, right? What is it called again when you eat and you talk about mukbang?
Big bang.
Mukbang Viti.
Bang bang.
Mukbang Viti. I like it.
Mukbang Viti go. Okay.
They had the singing junior guys when we came on.
Yeah. And then when you got through there, and then you were in, after you got your bags checked, you walked out of there, and they had a Mecca group. I think some of you may have seen it. I filmed them as well. And then as you pass the Mecca group, you're going to your transfer. There is the Fiji police band.
What were they playing? Fijian songs?
They were playing all these beautiful songs. Unfortunately, we're not able to load it up, but they played beautiful music, and we was they're being serenaded by them as we were waiting for our transfers to come. So that's what we got on the first day. How was yours, Trey? Anything else?
Beautiful. So, service was good all the way, and then had the singers when we came into the customs. And, it wasn't too bad. The service moved along quite quickly. The duty free is open down the bottom as well. So those shops, because I was wondering what's going to be open, what's going to be closed. Duty free was open downstairs in Fiji.
And also in Sydney.
Sydney as well. Not everything was open, just the main duty free. So you're able to get your supplies. I always get bottles of water at that duty free, when you come out, because it's so expensive, right?
Yeah.
Fiji water bottle was like $2 something.
Oh, nice.
The big bottles.
Big bottles.
And then when you get out of customs,
Good tip.
you can go and get your SIM card. So Digicel and Vodafone were both open because they say you need your Care Fiji app.
Okay, here's another tip.
What's the tip?
So if from Sydney, so duty free is open there inside. When you get inside, at the moment, this is the current situation, there's hardly any food open outside. But the food on the inside is way better, and they're all open inside once you go through customs. So that's another tip. You talked about the water and the duty free. So you can purchase duty free either in Sydney or here
in Nandi. Yeah.
in Nandi. But you mentioned something else.
The Care Fiji app.
Yeah, did you get to use that?
I downloaded it.
Okay. Nobody's really said very much about it.
But they want us to download it. So we downloaded it.
It's downloaded.
And you need a SIM card.
Oh, yeah.
To activate.
Okay. SIM cards. Now, another tip. So when you get off at the airport, you walk out of customs or your baggage handling. On the right-hand side is Digicel. So what you do is, rather than paying expensive roaming fees, right? Don't do that. Just go to Digicel, purchase a $20 or a $30 package, which comes with a SIM and bundle that you can get, right? Choose a bundle depending on how long you're staying for. Like I got the $20 Fiji, $20 bundle, which is for a month, and it gives you 120 gigs. 120 gigs.
Wow.
Which is what we're using at the moment, right? So 120 gigs for $20. If you put $30, you can have $10 for phone calls outside, because everything Digicel, if you call Digicel to Digicel, it's free calls, right? And then you got 120 gigs of data. You got music, whatever it is that you want to pick up using your data, right? And then, but the $10 can go towards your, making phone calls to Vodafone numbers and so forth, right? So that's a good tip, because otherwise you end up spending a lot of money. Yeah. Hotel Wi-Fi is not always the best, right? If they even do work.
I know. Not the best.
Not the best. So do that. That's our little tips from this side. How are we doing? Oh, it's 8 o'clock.
And people are a bit concerned, right, because of the virus. But let me reassure you, we're all masked up at every point of the journey. You get the option, to wear gloves as well if you want to. You can get the plastic face mask, which a lot of people, all the staff, Fiji Airways staff, they have the mask and that face mask, So people are being cautious, and every step you're being asked to sanitize your hand at every point. On the plane, the staff were walking around with the bottle. I think it was Pure Fiji hand sanitizer they were using.
Yes.
I was like, Pure Fiji. They said, okay. So, you're doing the hand sanitizer as well. So people are being very careful,
Yeah.
And there's still the social distancing as well. Yeah. You were saying?
This food.
I know, I can't concentrate. So sorry.
This food.
Too good. Too good.
I took my two nieces to Nandina last night, and they were blown away. One of them said it was the best meal she had ever had.
Oh,
The other one said, "This is just," and they just, and we had mbu. We don't have mbu tonight, but we will tomorrow.
yum. So that's the green coconut.
Yes, the
Juice.
green coconut juice. We in the coconut as we get them, and it's just perfect. Look who's saying hello there.
Oh, my baby.
Hello, Lyric.
She wishes she was with us. I wish you were here too. We miss you. The Vanoa misses you too. So, gotta get planning.
So it's not that difficult. Okay, I think the travel, after you're clear on it, like we were the guinea pigs. So it's not that difficult really. Once you have those things, you make sure you check out your list. Also, Fiji Airways website tells you everything as well, clearly the points of what you need. Now, Fiji Airways has got, we're not being paid to do any of this, right? We're just saying this because
We love
we love
Fiji.
Fiji. So Fiji Airways has got amazing deals for two people. If there's two of you, you should see it. You get airline tickets, including your accommodation for 3-4 nights. So it covers you for your period of isolation in the hotel, like the Sofitel. And the Sofitel, of course, is a 5-star, incredible. And like $1,000 per person for 4 nights, including breakfast. Sofitel is known for its breakfast. Tell them about the Sofitel.
Forget about
Let's
it.
talk Sofitel.
That is like one of the best breakfast buffets I've ever been to.
And we're not being paid to say
Not
any of the
being
things
paid.
that we do.
They did
We paid
give us
to go
a
there.
good deal though. So, we're thankful of that we got a good discount.
And we love the stuff there. How good.
Oh my gosh, the staff. Very friendly, very fit, very accommodating. Very, very nice people. Yes. They're really good at what they do.
How
aren't they?
accommodating are they?
So they're hospitality with a smile all the way.
Right.
Yeah.
There you go. Hospitality all the way. Shout out to the wonderful workers at the Sofitel in Denarau. Exceptional, right? And you got to see it now. Denarau Sofitel has just had over $100 million refurbish. So the place, like it's heavenly.
It looks amazing. But the food, the breakfast, we didn't explain. How many stations? You walk in, there's 2 chefs here, so
There's like 20 chefs on
there
making
must
you.
be, at least 20. They even have like curries and roti, for breakfast. Then you've got your cereal and your continental eggs and bacon any way you like.
They will make you whatever you want.
Wow. And then they've got their pastries and their fruits.
Smoothies, like all the healthy stuff with the oats and all the prunes and all those beautiful healthy
Yum.
corner. And then you have the coffee cup that makes
Fresh coffees.
and you got the wonderful waiters, like they are on fire, on point in the morning, right? So they're fresh, they're ready to go, and their service is just incredible in the morning.
So good. And we were like stumbling in, because we were like exercising, doing the gym and everything, because we have to stay fit even though we're on holiday. Okay, now put the guns away. You don't have a permit for that. But, so of course, especially me, I'm not a morning person, but yeah, you get in there, man, would you like a coffee? Boom, straight away, and your food. It is one of the best buffets. And usually when you pay for your room, the buffet comes with it as well. And then you don't really have to eat for the rest of the day and have something light in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the beach is right there. And if you want to go and do water sports, you can do that as well. I prefer just to lie on they've got the cabanas now on the front. Before they never had them. So you can just relax with your book and then dip in the ocean. So beautiful.
Day beds.
Day beds.
They have day beds out there.
And they're covered, so you can just get your book and your water and whatever else you want and just relax there. So good.
Incredible.
So when they said you have to isolate in this hotel for 72 hours, we said it's going to be hard, but it's okay. We'll do it. So we did, and we survived. But we're out of self-isolation now. We're in a different part of Viti Levu.
So tell us what happens on day 3 and so forth. So
Day 2,
what is
when
the
you're in the
requirement?
hotel, day 2, you're supposed to get another test, right? So you've already got your test 72 hours before your flight. And then when you land 2 days after, on day 2, you get your not PCR,
rapid.
your RT test, yeah, the RT. So remember, there's 2, your RT and your PCR. The PCR you need to get on the plane. The RT you get
When you're about to depart.
about to leave the hotel.
Leave the hotel.
So within half an hour, we had those results, and then we were cleared to leave. So the nurses come to the hotel. You meet them in the morning. So we were supposed to do it day 2. We missed it, day 2, because we were sleeping in. And then day 3, which was this morning, we got the test. Yeah, and they were quite good.
Yeah, and they're under $20. I think there was at the Sofitel, it's $16, right?
Yeah.
So they turn around within, as Trey said, within half an hour.
16 Fijian dollars.
16 Fijian dollars, so you're in and out. And it's one of those tests, right? So you're clear now, you can then leave. We've left the hotel. Trey just checked out today. I checked out a couple of days ago. And now we're, sorry, I'm eating fish. Excuse me.
Now we're testing the food.
Now we're just tasting the food. Questions? Is there any questions? Let us know. Comments?
Comments and questions. How is the weather? The weather's been beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah. And so they say it always rains in the morning usually, and then it clears up, right? But beautiful skies, bit of rain, but always clears up. And it is, warm here in the west, but not too hot and humid.
Where are we?
In Viti Levu.
Okay. We're still in Nandi for those that want to know.
We're in the west side.
In an undisclosed location.
Okay. You can guess if you want.
But we're not going to tell you.
Yeah. Only needs to know basis.
That's right.
Yeah. So the weather's amazing. And, it's hard not to think about the hard times that people have gone through, So we in Sydney, we felt things, but here it's on a different level, So our prayers are with, everyone impacted here in Fiji. It's so good to see people back working in the hotels, And for me, and I know for yourself as well, when we come here, we know we're giving back and we're helping to boost, the economy and also help people's livelihoods, So we pay for things, we don't really complain unless they rip us off. It's a different story. But
I'm even letting them rip me off. It's like,
I don't know. Sometimes I'm just like, you don't have to rip me off. I'll give you the extra. Don't rip me off.
Yeah.
Like
I know that they're ripping me off, but I just go, you know what? It's $5. It's
your chin is sharing the food. Yeah.
Sorry.
But things have been great, and when you're in Danara, things are always a bit more expensive. But I'm just thinking everything costs so much.
Yeah.
The prices of importing stuff has gone, quite high, and then the time frame, for things to be delivered to the island, even at the hotels with the food and things, So we have to take all of that into account.
Yeah. And a lot of those foods are imported.
Yeah.
Right? Not that we want those sort of foods. Like feedback would be Give us
Local.
local food, you know,
Yes.
give us local produce. We don't want to eat. Give us local fruits and everything. It's
Yeah.
fresh.
Don't import.
And
Local
it's
food.
cheaper too. It's like a quarter of the price, excuse me, than importing it, right? So,
And it's good you hear about programs where agriculture, that part of government invests in farming, right? Through the pandemic, we heard a lot about that because a lot of people lost jobs and they went back to the farms. So they let cease a lot of that being grown for the hotels, those industries, which I'm sure is happening. Let's see more of that,
yeah,
like overseas gang want local stuff. I mean, we travel here to eat, to Fiji, to have the good food. We don't want the overseas stuff.
exactly. And, the tourism, especially in Nandi, it was very affected by the fact that there was no tourists, right? So they had to rely, a lot of them were laid off, went back to the village. And so they're really just starting again. That's what I was saying about, tipping and so forth, because there's, as you were saying, Trey, because a lot of these people have just started again, right? And this week really has been the opening of the tourist market. Remember that this week has been the opening of the, last week, right? Has been the opening from Wednesday of the tourist market. So the good news is that planes are filled. Our plane was full packed. Fiji Airways has just got so much booking happening. The hotels are getting really good business. So well done. So if you're thinking of traveling, we would encourage you to. It's not that difficult. Now as long as you got all those paperwork done, you're ready to go. I decided to get the booster before I left because I'm spending a bit more time here. So I thought, okay, and it was almost 6 months. So I went to my doctor and, they allowed me to get my booster earlier. So I had all that done before I left. I just wanted to make sure that I got that out of the way and it was all ready. But it's just so good to see things opening back up. And can I tell you, as far as the Sofitel, because that's my experience, is they really took from the planes, Fiji Airways, all the workers right through the whole process, right from A to B. They followed everything to the T. So if you're concerned about hygiene and the COVID protocols, they really cover all that well, and sometimes you feel overwhelmed by the fact that they're so detailed with it, but it's a good thing, right? So they're really making sure, as far as the standards that we have in Australia, Fiji basically mirrors it, right? They mirror it to a T, and they're not relaxed about it. They will actually follow it, all through. So it's really, really good. So if you're concerned about that, I can assure you that, people are doing the right thing, right?
Yes, they are. And I think, we do our part as well. We're wearing the masks every step, we're hand sanitizing, keeping our social distance as well. Are you getting more food?
Yes. Dessert.
Oh, yummy. We have dessert.
We have dessert.
Okay.
Sorry to interrupt you, Trey. Keep going.
No, all good. Yeah, so, some people will be watching thinking, but we're still, got the virus, and then there's this new virus. So, just do what's right for you, safeguard yourself, safeguard each other, and stay safe.
Stay safe.
Follow the protocols, set in place by the health departments and the governments as well as we do.
We're going to give you all the details. Oh, my Lord.
Oh, is it?
No.
What?
This is, I made the mistake because I thought that they didn't deliver the.
It's there.
It's there. Here you go.
Oh, shit.
Okay. We had row
Okay, I did
balls, which is beautiful row balls. And yeah, we're going to have some. We were going to have
Is it
dessert.
sweet?
No.
No.
That was our vegetable.
Yum. Packed in protein.
Packed. Oh, this
my gosh.
is. Do you know how healthy this is?
Look how green it is. Oh my gosh, look at that. I've never had this before.
You've never had this?
Oh my gosh, it's sweet.
It's basically roe put into balls and then cooked in coconut cream.
And rolled up. Oh, thank you.
Did you try that?
Papa.
Oh my Lord. Here, more.
Mmm.
You must. We wish that you were here with us sharing this. That's for you. Now,
But you know where we get the good food in Fiji, in Sydney, is at Liverpool. We don't get the Roro balls, but we still get some good Fijian food there in Sydney.
I go to Manaya.
Mmm.
Manaya in Belmore. Is it Lakemba? Belmore, isn't it?
I'm not sure.
I don't remember.
But yeah,
It's either
in that
Belmore or
region.
Lakemba, right? Manaya. Go there. Great food. We're just talking about food. And we're not going to say sorry, because if you want to try some, you need to either you need to come to Fiji, really.
Yeah. Or go to the Manaya or to Island Beach.
Oh, that's right. There's Island Feast as well out there, right? In Liverpool.
Kanavata, Lomani Bale catering.
Yes.
Wow.
And you've also got Mommy Brother does amazing.
And Lower?
Lever's Kitchen.
Yeah. Yum. Okay. So,
We are trying to eat and talk at the same time, but nobody's talking. Nobody's asking questions. So that we can eat while you ask the question and chat amongst yourselves.
so I'm only here for a short time.
Okay.
You're here for a longer period of time. But I'm looking forward to heading over to Suva City. Oh, that was a big octopus.
Show them the Kuita tavu.
Yeah. Yep, so looking forward to heading over to Suva.
How come my camera shows this and yours is like slightly different?
Why?
Oh, it's just because you've got it small like that, right? Okay. Okay, so what are you going to be doing while you're here, Trey? Now that how long has it been since you've come?
23 months.
Same here. Way too long. You need to have another one of these. I insist. The food is insane. Now, Trey, what did we do this afternoon? Have half this with me.
Oh my gosh, we went for a
Trey, you need to
dip
tell
in the
him. You need to tell him
ocean.
what
Went
you
for a
did.
walk
Mhm.
and then a dip in the ocean. So divine. We were the only ones there at the beach. The hills in the background, the sun was setting. We were just thanking the Lord, like so blessed to have that, those magical moments that you just cannot buy.
It was just insane.
It was amazing. So it was good to just, connect with the Vanuan and into the ocean as well and just swim, and body felt so relaxed after it. But just amazing. It was so surreal, like it was a dream.
It was just incredible. That's why we seem really refreshed. And if we seem really relaxed, it's because we're not really with it. We decided we'd still go ahead and do the show and, share a little bit about our experience on this trip. And, if people wanted to ask questions, and it's a way to share information. I know a lot of people are intending to come through in the next few weeks. So we hope that that information has been helpful for everyone who are thinking about traveling, you know. And the deals are really, really cheap. It's not expensive when you look at all the deals that they have around, right? So just plan it well. You've just got to spend 3 days. The one the Sofitel was where I chose, and Trey as well. But there's a lot of other hotels. There was a lot cheaper. There's a whole variety of things, right? So there's a whole list on the Fiji Airways website. So you can have a look there about all the certified accommodation providers. And the flights are really, really cheap. It's like $500-600, right? And it's December. Remember, December now, the prices are normally go up, you know. It's just great to see a lot of people taking advantage of it and coming over. The hotel was full. When I was there, the hotel was full. There were groups coming in, groups going out. You could get a 3-day package, which is that sort of minimum, so that you could have that self-isolation period. Then you got 4-day packages, 5-day packages, the list goes on, right? And you could get all your meals included in it. It's really, and the kids fly for free and stay for free and eat for free. It's something like that. Like, you check up all the deals on the Fiji Airways .com website. They've got all the information there for you. Like we said, none of them, we're not being paid to talk about any of those things, but we wanted to share it because that's our experience. And we would encourage people to also come to Fiji and help, you know, especially the locals. I know that they're spending a lot of resources and into marketing, into the Australian travelers tourism. But we also want to encourage our local people, right? Fijians to come over, have a wonderful time. Let's help with building up the economy as well. And help the local people to see them, you know, being able to have their jobs back. And a gentleman was telling me that he's been planting cassava and he's glad now that he could start work again. You know, the drivers that drive us back and forth, and they're just so happy to be able to have an income to support their families. The crews on the airplanes were all excited. There's a lot of young new people on the flights, and they're really excited about doing their trips. All the fresh young ones, Trey. Even in the hotel, there's a whole new energy, but there's also a whole new batch of new workers that have arrived.
And people are just so happy, like genuinely, you know, happy to see everyone and go out of their way to help, you know?
Yeah. So true. And it's just great energy, you know, and you could tell that these are new people coming on. I mean, it's been 2 years, so they've had to retrain a lot of stuff, you know, bring a lot of new people in, and it's just, you know, the video is not working. It doesn't want to upload.
Okay.
Nothing wants to upload, right?
Fine.
And now we are going to have
Oh my gosh.
dessert.
Is that it?
That's it.
This is vakalolo.
Okay. Everyone knows what buckle
Oh, this is ngalu, but taste this one, Trey.
Oh, yum.
I already tried it.
Yum. Soft, tasty, caramel, melts in your mouth. Sweet.
Abatu.
Yum.
Abatu.
Yes,
Bilo menyo.
that's right. They've used, it's, you know, the ngova, if you know how they take the stone and then they heat the stone and then they use they throw the stones in the fire and then they take the stone and they use that stone to toast the coconut.
When the stones are hot.
Yeah, so it then toasts it, it gives it a smoky scent. It's a very different taste, and that's what you can taste here.
Yum. So good.
And we've been swimming, so that's why we're all, what's the word for it?
Thunder.
Fresh.
Fresh.
We're really climatizing, like, just really connecting with the environment, the food, Fiji time, Fiji style, all of the above.
And we have 5 minutes left.
Wow.
We've just talked about the whole trip. Is there anything you want to highlight and share about your experience so far? How many days have you been here?
So Friday, Saturday,
4 days.
Sunday, Monday, day 4.
Day 4.
I have to say the first few days I felt like I was in a bubble, did not feel like I was here. Usually as soon as we get off the plane, you know that you're home, you feel it, right? But I think being locked up or being, isolating at home through the pandemic, things are a bit different. So it took me a while to try and register. You've left the country. You're back in Fiji. So today I'm feeling a bit more like I'm actually here. And I think going into the ocean helps as well, just walking barefoot, grounding yourself. When I get to Suva, then I think it'll be 100% I'm home. So I think, we don't know how coming out of the pandemic has impacted us all. And we're going to be experiencing different things for a while. Take your time. It's all going to be different every step of the way. It's not what we used to. Just take time for yourself. And, everyone's going to react differently or experience things differently.
Very good. Very good. Yeah. Exactly. Everybody's different. And we've come out of such a new and strange season. And for me, it was when I was on the plane. Even when I was on the plane, I had no emotions either. And then when we touched down here, it was a little bit like it kept on going up, but just by a notch, like you're starting to go, okay, I'm finally here. Like the first one was, okay, I'm finally at the airport. And then I went through and it's like, okay, now I'm waiting at the gate, waiting for that plane. And then we're bored. And so everyone was a little notch of me going, wow, it's actually happening. And then the plane took off, it was like big sigh of relief. Wow, we're in the air, and I filmed it. And then when we landed, it was like, finally here, But then strange, it was sort of like surreal, wasn't it? It felt like it was like an out-of-body feeling. It was you're there, but you're not totally all there. Like the alignment of your body and your consciousness is sort of, trying to find itself. That's how I felt. And then
Absolutely.
And then the few days at the hotel, it was not until I came out now that I actually feel like I'm here. What about you? Yeah. So so that's the feeling. But I'm so glad. And as Trey was saying, we had a swim, we had a sunset swim. And wait till you see the photos when we posted up. They're amazing. So we feel really, really blessed and privileged that we could be here. Are we going to do? No, the next show will be. You'll be back over there.
Yes.
Who knows where we will be, right? You never know. You may be stuck here.
Oh no, I have to go home.
So don't. So the next show we will be doing it from
2 locations.
2 locations, undisclosed locations. But in the meantime, we will be doing some interviews and conversations that we will be sharing and rolling out with all the different people that we meet whilst we're here. Trey, look, someone said hello for you.
Bulla, it's my cousin Eddie. Bulla Eddie, surprise!
Surprise!
Thank you for watching.
Yes. Now our parting words, Trey.
Our party, and there's Mary Jane. Bulla,
Mary Jane.
We'll have to do Oceania 2 from here.
We're on site. This is the location. It's night here, so we can't take you outside, but wait till you see it. Trey will tell you about it.
Yes, so excited to be
Share
doing
the photos.
some stuff from here. So parting words. Be safe, we're still all working through this, and any questions, feel free to reach out. And one thing I saw on Fiji TV is the information to access free counseling supported by the New Zealand government.
Yes.
And I when I saw that being advertised on free to air TV, I was like, great, you know, so it's like the phone hotlines. So it's good to know that there's support here in Fiji, it's free. There's support in Australia, it's free. We've come through big things. Don't go through this stuff alone. There's gonna be up and down experiences, you know. So be good to yourself, take it easy and reach out, you know. Don't feel like you're going through this alone. Other people are going through similar situations. So let us continue to support each other, just like we're supporting each other here with our time, our food.
Without food.
But take care of yourself. God bless, and just so blessed to be back home. So privileged, so, you know, grateful for our experiences to have these priceless moments. Vinaka Sevu for your hospitality. Over to you.
Yes, we will be. I think that, you know, we're coming into a few weeks now till Christmas, right? We've got 2 and a bit weeks, 3 weeks.
Wow.
3 weeks till Christmas, or 2 and a bit. So take time out to take care of yourself. Those of you that are planning to come to Fiji, make sure you prepare yourself well. Check those checklists. Watch this program if you just come back on. There's some good tips in here, what you need to do to prepare. Great time to travel, and wish you all the best. I think by the time we air again, it'll be just before Christmas, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
last one for the year.
Last one for the year next time. And so thank you so much for tuning in today. Great to see you, Mary Jane, as well. Thank you for joining in. And our special in-house friend, sister, mother, all the above, Auntie Aileen is with us in the studio, coming to you live from Nandi, Fiji.
Town West.
Nandi Town West. So, yeah, we're sending you our love. All the best, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. And Nisa Mode for a little while from us here in Nandi, Fiji. Mother.
Has no retreat, no surrender. That's the message of the sender. No BS.